Very sad news to report. Hal Williams, famously of Sanford and Son and 227, has passed away at the age of 91 years old.
He was the real deal. When you meet him in person, he's as solid as your neighbor. You know, he's a good guy. He was not arrogant, not rude, not passive, listened to everybody. And so I just wanted to say, yeah, it sucks. It sucks, and it's life. But the good and the bad, right? Meeting him means this loss means so much more on a personal level. And it probably does for a lot of fans that just got to meet him this weekend. So Hal Williams passed away, sadly, at 91. That's all I wanted to say.
Damn, man. I'm really, really heartbroken. I just heard some breaking news, man. And I was just like thinking to myself, man, say it ain't so true. Say it ain't true, man. Hal Williams of 227, and he also played on Sanford and Son years ago, many years before a lot of you guys was even born or even thought of. Probably before y'all parents was even born and thought of, man. You know, it breaks my heart for multiple reasons. First of all, I grew up watching Sanford and Son. Same way I grew up watching Hulk Hogan.
Williams' most famous role was the officer Smitty that he played on Sanford and Son. Also, he did a role on 227 as well.
You know, we shall all die, of course, and everybody knows that. But you know, what matters most is when you die, what legacy are you leaving? Now, hearing the death of this, famous actor, Hal Williams, there are more black people who are mourning, not only are they mourning, but, they are remembering what this guy has contributed even, to black people. Not only was he doing this, but he put, the black talent on the map. So people are like, losing, they're feeling that loss that, yeah, this guy, when we talk about, American entertainment, and we could not forget there's no American entertainment excluding black people, and this is one of the black talents. So yeah, there is a great loss from black community. So anyway, brothers and sisters, let's exactly see what these people are trying to say. What exactly are they mourning for after they have heard about the death of this legendary? So anyway, let's dive into this, and then we can appreciate something. Rest in peace.
And a lot of other famous celebrities that passed away, man. And, I just feel like, he was like, Hal Williams was part of my existence as a child. Growing up, watching the shows, laughing at him and his father on Sanford and Son. Well, his actor dad on Sanford and Son. And it's like, you never know when you're gonna pass. Even though I'm heartbroken, I'm kind of happy at the same time. And the reason why I say that, because this man made it to the age of 91 years old. 91 years old, guys. This man has seen it all. He's been through it all. There is nothing new under the sun for that man to see before he passed away. That man lived a really long, beautiful life, man. God rest that man's soul. Like, rest in heaven, brother, man. You will be truly, truly missed, man. He was one of my favorite actors when it came to 227 and Sanford and Son, man. Sanford and Son, man, was one of the best shows that was out back then when I was 4 or 5 years old, going into 10 or 11 years old. And then they just disappeared off the air, man. And then 227 came out. And it's like, I hear a lot of these people, man, talking about, y'all old people this, y'all old people that. But what young people need to understand, man, when you make it to a point in your life and people start calling you old, do you realize that that's not an insult, man? Someone calling you old, man, is a damn blessing. It is a blessing, because that man was 91 years old. And a lot of these people I heard don't live to even see 35 or 40 years old, man. And that's why I say he was a true blessing. To see that type of age, man, people like, back then, people didn't even live that long, man. People who was born in his era, 91 years ago, they barely lucky to make it to age 50 or 60 years old because of the medicines and stuff that they got out now. People can live a lot longer, man. But it's really sad, man. It's heartbreaking, man. And, You know, like I said, I'm sad, but I'm happy at the same time. He got to live a very, very long life. We all don't get to make it to see 100 years old, man. God bless you, Mr. Williams, and may you rest in paradise, man. Jesus Christ, this man is really gone.
According to Deadline, veteran actor Hal Williams, who played Officer Smitty Smith on the hit 1970s comedy Sanford and Son, and also starred on the 80s hit 227 during a long screen career, died July 15th at his home in Rancho Mirage, California, according to his representative. He was 91 years old. Deadline reminds us that as Smitty, Williams was one half of a crime-fighting duo who appeared on 22 episodes of the classic 1972 to 77 NBC show adapted by Norman Lear from a British format. His partner, Officer Hoppy Hopkins, played by Howard Platt, would often lead off a scene with an official, stiff police explanation of their investigation. Smitty would then interpret in plain English for Fred and Lamont, played by Red Fox and Desmond Wilson, respectively. Deadline reminds us that Williams' career stretched for the better part of 6 decades, and he worked steadily, although his role on Sanford may be the most recognizable in 227. He had longer stints on ABC's On the Rocks, 24 episodes, and the full run of the Private Benjamin TV adaptation, on which he played the curmudgeonly Sergeant Ted Ross, another extended stint as Rudy Bryan on 20 episodes of The Sinbad Show. For some of us, he was iconically Lester from 227. They said from 1985 to 1990, Williams was a key part of 227, in which he played Lester Jenkins, the husband of star Marla Gibbs, Mary Hurley Jenkins. That show was a cultural touchstone as the only other Black middle-class family series on at the time besides The Cosby Show. The star-studded cast also included Helen Martin, Regina King, Jackée Harry, Paul Winfield, and others. Throughout his 55-year career, Williams earned guest appearances on such TV staples as That Girl, The Dick Van Dyke Show, Cannon, Policewoman, Gunsmoke, Police Story, and so many more. 91 years is nothing to scoff at. Thank you for all that you contributed to all of our childhood and adulthoods. Rest in peace.
Sanford and Son actor Mr. Hal Williams passed away at 91 today. Williams' most famous role was the officer Smitty that he played on Sanford and Son. Also, he did a role on 227 as well. He also played in countless of movies like Knox Landing, Dukes of Hazzard, SWAT, Webster, Magnum P.I., Tales from the Crypt. He was even in Moesha, Parks and Recreation, and he was also in Matlock. The Sanford and Son actor left behind 2 children, 3 grandchildren, and 3 great-grandchildren. And he is preceded in death with his son as well. This is what you call a full life. He lived an amazing life, and his family and friends are celebrating his life as well. And we should do the same. One of the best Black male actors that we have ever had in our time. Mr. Hal Williams, may he rest in peace, and thank you for everything you left us.
Well, people, another legend has passed away. Hal Williams died at 91 from natural causes. If you know OG sitcoms, I mean, he's been in so many things, but I grew up with the reruns. I'm not that old, but since like 70 shows and 80s, he was on Sanford and Son as Smitty. He's the friend of the Sanfords, the cop. And his only one that's left now is Hoppy, if you all know, familiar with the show. Sanford and Son, one of my all-time favorite sitcoms. And also, he was also co-starring with Marla Gibbs as her husband on 227 as well. So another legend we lost, Sam Neill, now Hal Williams, and all I can say is rest in peace. Great actor, just funny dude, and you'll be missed. Rest in peace, and prayers to you and your family.
All right, so this is tough. You know, it's Hal Williams passed away, and he was 91. And so you look at it and you go, yeah, you know, it's going to happen at its age. It's all of us. We see people passing away in their late 40s. I mean, Red Fox, you know, he died, 69. So when the end comes, it comes. But when I just met the guy, when he just got to meet so many fans this last weekend, the last things we thought would that less than a week later, he would be gone. And I'm literally working right now on 2 videos. Both have to do with Hal Williams. And I see the news break that Hal Williams passed away. He gave me a card. I was supposed to stay in touch with him. I was going to ask him several things about the show for the channel. And sadly, he's gone. And I'm where I'm at, it's like 11 p.m. or so. And it's just such a weird feeling. You know, every other cast member that's passed away, you're always sad. You know, Lynn Hamilton played Donna Harris. She made it to, I think, 95, 96. Damon Wilson passed away in January this year. So now Howard Platt is the last main cast member who's still with us at 88. He just had his 88th birthday to start June 5th. You know, and so it's just so weird that when you actually meet him, you meet both of them, and then you're not even a week out and he passes away. It's sad. It's sad, you know, but at the same time, I'm so thankful that thanks to Bill Bauman holding the event, that so many of us fans got to go out and meet him one last time, or for the first time for us. But so many fans, I know he got so much love and praise from the people in person. And so it was so good. He even said, he comments when they do the Q&A that, you know, it's so great when he gets to come out and meet this, because in Hollywood, they don't give them that kind of treatment. And the actual fans here in America, you know, he means like the small towns, the people who actually still can relate. They really give praise, and he really appreciated that. So I think it was one great weekend for him right before he passed. So that's the only thing I could say on the positive side. You know, 91, I'll be blessed if I can make it to 91, but it still just feels weird. See, now you just meet him. I just met him for the first time ever, and how amazing that was, and now he's gone. So Hal Williams passed away at 91 on June 15th. Yeah, I just felt like I normally don't do this because I never meet cast members, you know, and things like that for our channel. But I just felt like I had to say something. I wanted to say something about it. Personally, great man. From a fan perspective, got to talk to him. I know all about his life. I did bio videos on him, and he was the real deal. When you meet him in person, he's as solid as your neighbor. You know, he's a good guy. He was not arrogant, not rude, not passive. Listened to everybody. And so I just wanted to say, you know, yeah, it sucks. It sucks, and it's life. But the good and the bad, right? Meeting him means this loss means so much more on a personal level. And it probably does for a lot of fans that just got to meet him this weekend. So Hal Williams passed away, sadly, at 91. That's all I wanted to say.
Welcome back. Now, after hearing these people sharing their views, sharing their, you know, condolences, you know, rest in peace, and some of them were, you know, remembering, okay, some of the television shows that he was doing, trying to say, yeah, they will miss him for that. But like I said in the first place, like, you know, it's a loss to the community when you lose some of the stars, you know, the people who are putting, you know, black community, black Americans on the map, the people who are putting, you know, the black talents on the map, the people who are representing. Remember, there is no black talents excluding some of these legendaries. Some of them may not have been exposed, may not be known, but these are legendaries, you know, the people who have been in the industry for so long. So when these people are dying, you know, it's so unfortunate that, yeah, it's like there is a great loss of some talents, you know, from black community. But remember, there are people who have died recently, okay, and we have seen people mocking their deaths, okay, we have seen them. Some of them were like, they wish they died with, you know, some top officials in the government, especially, you know, some politicians. We may not mention the names, but we have seen all those, you know, mockery comments, mockery, you know, statements, you know. So the death of this guy, you know, is so, I'm not trying to say it's remarkable, but I'm trying to say, you know, it simply means how, you know, like, how powerful he was, you know, how loved, how beloved he was, you know. People are mourning, people are sending, you know, condolences. We have seen people who have died, but people be like, oh, why now? You were supposed to die some years ago, you know. Like, people don't love that person. Even if God had given us a chance, like, do you want this person to come back to life? Maybe for those people, they cannot be voted, like, no, bring them back to life. Okay, we have seen comments like, oh, he's now in hell, or he's now burning. Why? Why exactly? What exactly am I trying to share? The thing is, as we are living on this earth, let's try to leave impact. Let's live well with the people. Okay, I'm not trying to say when you die, the jokes people make about you, you may feel them, but it simply signals how your life was. So when we see this guy, Hal Williams, being remembered, people cheering, his life, feeling, that it's a great loss, that signals how important the person was, to the society, how remarkable his life was almost to everyone. So yeah, brothers and sisters, I think that's what I can say. This is just the death of somebody. I don't have to say so many things. I just wanted to point out that, we shall all die. But I think how we die sometimes matters. What legacy are we leaving? This guy did so much. And yeah, the good thing is, those comedies, those movies, or those TV shows, they are still, people will still be remembering at least. But the best thing is to leaving impact in your own community. What exactly is your take? What shall you remember this guy for? What shall you remember him for? See you next time, and I'm proud of you.